Hi, now we're going to look at how to create some tools and a tool library in NC Simul. I can go to the top left of our resources and right-click on Tools and go to New. Or I can also go to our Creation tab up here and click on Tools up there. Let's give it a name, NC Simul Tools. And I can select my default compensation. I can first start by having the compensation equal to 0, or if I'd like to add the compensation for the radius, I can select that as my default, as well as having the length being automatically detected as the tool length, or the length is equal to 0, or if we want it to be at the ball center. I can change these at a later time. I'll hit on OK. The main two buttons are going to be creating a new turning tool and creating a new milling tool. You might also want to use the copy and paste, which you can copy and paste from one library into another or within the same library. And the keyboard commands for that you can use are also Control-C and Control-V to do copy and paste. And we also have the default, creating a default tool button, which I'll cover on how that works. First, let's add a new milling tool. And then I can expand my menu by clicking on More, the bottom right. And we have our options of a standard mill, drill, tap, ream. We can do top and side and conical and different types of shapes and sizes, where really it all comes down to putting in the values and getting the tool that we would like to get. So going back to this tool, let's put a 1/2 inch mill. And we're going to change this. Maybe this will be 2 inches. And you see we have a holder. So if I go to my holder tab, we could start without a holder or add either the cylindrical or conical ones that we have already as defaults. And I can change my values here. Let's put this like here, like that. And have a different type of look for a holder. Or you can also have the 2D or 3D CAD file, and then you just go and search for any STL or step file that you have from a manufacturer or that we can provide you with, and you have a more realistic looking type of a holder if you'd like. It's always a good idea to click on Save after every tool. And then let's create a next tool. The next one we will have a drill. So I'll just come down here, select my drill. And this is already a 1/4 inch drill, 118 degrees. That's what I was looking to get, so I can move on to the next one. But let me change the holder. Let's change the look of this to this one, and let's put that to 2. Because if I were to add as a next tool now, so let me go hit save, go to next, it's going to be different. The holder will be different, maybe the tool is different. But if I wanted to use this exact tool number 2 and just make a copy and do some modifications, what I would want to do there is either copy and paste. So I can just click up here, copy and paste. And I'll just delete this tool number 3. We don't need that. And I'll click on the red X. What happens though when you do copy and paste is it takes the same tool number and tool station. You can either change this just by double clicking here, and then I can go to 3, make this tool number 3. I could also have gone down here to my parameters, and here we have different parameters where I could have changed my tool number. My reference of my tool, which is really just a text file as a referencing if I wanted to write this as a spot drill, as well as defining certain things like maximum feed rate of this particular tool and forcing an error if there's no coolant through the tool as well. If I didn't want to go through that and having to change the tool station, what I could have done is made this my default tool. So I click on this button up here so that now every tool I add is identical to that tool. If I go up here to my mill, make that my default tool, and I add a new one, Well, my next tool is going to be my mill. So if you're creating a specific type of holder or a specific tool that you didn't want to restart from scratch, doing the default tool and adding a new one saves you some time. So let's just delete some of these. We don't need all of these tools. And we're going to go back to 3, where this one I'm going to change to a 90-degree tool. And you will see the difference if we zoom in here on the tip of the tools. Of course, one versus the other has a different look. And we will hit save and click on OK. We see we have our tool library in the drop-down menu of the tools, which I can just drag and drop anywhere in my menu. In my bottom left job window, the tool libraries will need to be after the table, but they should automatically snap to that position regardless of where you put it in the window. And now we have our tools in our job.